In the name of Almighty Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. As Muhammad, peace be upon him, narrated, if anyone travels on a road in search of knowledge, Almighty Allah will cause him to travel on one of the roads of paradise. Hello everyone, this is Dr. Tariq Masood. Thank you very much for watching my videos and your wonderful support to make the channel a grand success. We are a family, a partner. Please subscribe and share our channel if you haven't done so far. We as a team can work together to convert challenges into opportunities and opportunities into success stories. These success stories can be monetized into value addition in the world by large. Thank you very much for your precious time. Okay, today I'm going to discuss my lecture number 4, Customer Victory, Challenge for Organization Model. Okay, before my lecture, I used to read a Quranic verse. Qala Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa halal uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli Allahumma Rabbi zidni ilma. O my Lord, open my chest and ease my task for me, and loose or not from my tongue, that they may understand my sayings. Allahumma Rabbi zidni ilma, O Allah, advance me in my knowledge and true understanding. Okay, thank you very much. Now I'm going to run a complete trail what I have planned to discuss in Challenge for Organization Model. Okay, Challenge for Organization, Customer Victory, Bureaucracy, Requiem for Bureaucracy, Change yes, but why change? Okay, so Challenge for Organization, it constituted with 4 topics here. So then the change process. So the challenge for organization of what are the 4 segments: the customer victory, what is the bureaucracy, a requiem for bureaucracy, change yes, but what we change needed. The change process, a review of the pure, the form of references, the process of from substance to problems, and from problem to priorities, and the process from priority to the levers, and then implementation, management of change. This is our plan to discuss in next couple of months, I would say. Okay. Challenge for organization, customer victory, lecture number 4. Okay. So far, we have discussed first customer victory, the from second product to a securest customer, and now we have also looked at hazards for segmentations and how not to listen. So our topic number 4, case of British catering, we are going to discuss today. Today we are going to discuss the case of British catering. So our next plan, getting off the beaten track, and how human resource management as an essential contribute to the customer victory. Okay. So case. So what is the key takeaway points from lecture number 4? Good illustrations, organizations, listen to mode of functions. We are going to discuss today. Okay, the case of British Catering Company. Okay, the case of British Catering Company. First, good illustration, provide food service, schools, business and offices, developing resources. Okay, the case of British Catering Company provides a good illustrations of what is meant by listening. The company in question is a world leader in its domain, which includes providing food services in various institutions like schools, business and offices. Its structure is simple. The country is divided into regions, each of which is headed by a regional director, assisted by a small team which is responsible for human resources, marketing, support of base level units, and the development of quality control strategies. In turn, each region is divided into sections which are under the direction of sector supervisors, who are generally young graduates of a business school and who themselves put pressures on the restaurant manager, who are responsible for the day-to-day production and delivery of meals. Note that a considerable part of the salary of the regional heads is variable, their bonuses related to catering on the one hand, the profits and achieved within their region on the other, the number of meals served, so that the top of the line restaurant business clubs, for example, will not be overdeveloped to detriment of restaurant with low profit margin. The variables portion of a sector supervisor salaries is calculated in the same way but represent considerably smaller part of their total earning. Lastly, the manager is paid a fixed salary which increases with seniority and according to relatives flow of the restaurant for which he or she responsible. Finally, we should point out that the regional director appoints the sector supervisor in the different regions, knowing that some of them have a better reputation than other in the terms of their profitability or risk, which boils down to customer loyalty. Okay, so from my next slide, we will discuss further. So, what the relationship between them? Okay, the activities of organization, then regional relation between regional director, sector supervisors, customers, managers. Okay, now first we will talk about focus on the day-to-day activities to find out several interesting facts. First, relationship between the regional director and their sector supervisor are courteous and cordial, although it is fairly rare for them to meet given the expense of each region. Overall communication between these levels is fairly superficial. There is quite a bit of talks, but not much is said. There is often a more discussion about daily life than about daily works. Okay. Second, sector supervisor themselves have a few occasions to get together. Their territories covers a lot of ground and they are responsible for a large number of restaurants. When they do meet up, once again we see quality food is often served, for example, and once again work is not the major topic of the discussion. Okay, the sector supervisors and the managers, okay, seems to be subject to very intense pressure. The former are constantly complaining about this to extent that company directors are concerned and talk seriously about tackling the problems, although they do not have a clue how to go about it. Restaurant managers also suffer from pressures but are less willing to discuss it openly. The reason is that they are the scapegoat within this organization. The regional director and sector supervisors agree that managers are not very competent or thereof generally unable to take an objective view of the situations. Management laments him to fire a certain numbers of them on a regular basis. Okay, the last place there are a customer, those who it is not important not sign the contracts and not to those who eat at the restaurant, whom we might call the guests. Okay, the customer express great satisfaction. They feel that the company and more specifically the sector supervisor who are their real contacts take a good care of them, listen closely to their problems and seems always to do their utmost to satisfy them. The customer and the sector supervisor meet moreover outside of the workplace in gathering organized by the latter. The regional director who deals only with several of the more significant clients is not associated with these events. Okay, so from my next slide, we will further discuss the listen to understand a function and the autonomy or freedom. Okay, satisfied customers are people who have been listened to. What differences are there between this and the case of the telecommunication which might explain these relationships? Certainly not the people involved and their loyalty, but the organization itself. Let's try to understand how it functions. Okay. All the young sector supervisors express a desire for autonomy, a freedom to organize their work and their rounds just as they see fit. Okay. They work within large region which they know well and are in the contacts with the customers whose concerns they have identified and which they try to address. Any interventions into their operations by the regional director is viewed negatively. Even as a kind operation by the regional director is viewed negatively of sections in any case. The directors have neither the time nor the training to keep a close eye on the supervisors. Okay, they leave them a great deal of freedom, autonomy, so long as everything runs smoothly. What might be a problem for this organization? Most certainly the loss of customer, which can easily happen in this very competitive environment and which translates into a rapid drop in the numbers of meals served, thereby affecting the regional director bonus. A decrease in profitability as well, which has the same effect. So, by reconstructing the triangle of a regional director, the sector supervisor, and the customer, we have a good model of how the organization operates. Okay, the regional director yields a full autonomy to the sector supervisor accordingly to later on which as long as the two criteria on which the directors evaluated and are paid or not jeopardized. Should this happen, the director intervenes immediately to avoid such a scenario and remain autonomous. The sector super almost literally hangs on to the customer, attempting to anticipate the need and satisfy them. This is the classic model of organization operating within a highly competitive market in which armed peace between the traveling sector supervisor and the sedentary regions director works to the advantage of the customer who holds the key to the relationship, the contracts. Okay. So now, next slide, we will discuss how the limitation of this mode of the function of the course is easy to identify. Okay. Okay. The limitation of this mode of functions. So first is the participations, then agreements and heavy human factors. Okay, the limitation of this mode of functions are of course easy to identify. It is based entirely on the fact that one of the participants pays the price. The restaurant manager must work out the agreement stuck between the sector supervisor and the customer. The condition of which almost always border on the impossible from a certain point of view. Restaurant managers pay off the sector supervisor freedom, and whenever the letters complain about being under pressures, whether they know it or not, they actually transfer most of the pressures over to the restaurant managers. It is thus a system which carries a heavy human cost. This is the cost of the customer victory, a point which I tended to get back to the later on, a system which every day wastes a great deal of know-how focused on the short term, much more reactive than proactive. But let us consider it first and forecast as a reactions to the advantage now held by the customer. Okay, so in a sense, the system is not very sophisticated, implying a physical environment in which work is hard and uncomfortable. But after all, since then, does a customer worry about the well-being of company? Okay, so thank you very much. It was my last slide, and Next is my conclusion page. Today we have discussed good illustration, organization, listen to, and mode of function. Next topic, getting off the beaten track. Okay, references. So you can further read materials, Management Challenge for 21st Century, Next Frontiers, City Groups, A Sense of Decisions, The Bureaucratic Phenomena, and Actor and System. Okay, together everyone achieve more. Please do not hesitate. Send me your feedback, comments at t.masood.dr@bath.edu. Please stay at home, stay safe, inspired, and blessed. Thank you very much for your precious time. Thank you and take care.